And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, on your screen, you see the Governoress of Maine, Janet Mills. And some people are starting to accuse Mills of having allowed fraudsters to infiltrate her state, y'all. You see, several years ago, and you're going to see a news clip about this, Maine threw open the doors and said, hey, everybody, come on in. And it looks like maybe some of the same sinister actors that went into Minnesota and stole up to $8 billion from them. It looks like some of those same actors might have wound up in Maine and maybe stole money from them as well. We're going to show you a clip. We're going to show you a few clips of your girl, Janet Mills, throwing open the doors to the state. You will see what results she got. Also, we're going to take a quick look at how now that the governoress, Janet Mills, now that her time is starting to dwindle as governess of Maine, she's running for Senate, but it looks like she's going to have a very tough go of it, as her challenger is way out ahead in the polls. We'll take a look at that briefly as well, y'all. We're going to start with a Fox News clip of Janet Mills, your girl, several years ago, y'all. This is years and years ago, throwing open the doors to her state to all. Come one, come all, she said. So without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and jump into it. But before we do, y'all, we are launching our official Patreon. So if you want to be a founding member on our Patreon, we have just 222 slots, y'all. If you want to be a founding member, go down, click the very first link in the description, and you're going to feel good about this, y'all, because believe it or not, we are an actual paralegal school, and we help people get their paralegal certificate and get working in the paralegal field. And all of the proceeds from our Patreon, when you enroll as a founding member, all of that is going to go to scholarships for people who would like to study at our institute, y'all. So click that first link down in the description. Join us as a founding member, y'all. This deal will not come back. Now let's get into the story.
Last night, we were the only show in all of cable news to bring you the story of hundreds upon hundreds of Congolese immigrants being dropped off in San Antonio after crossing the border. But for many of them, that is not the final stop. San Antonio's assistant city manager, Dr. Colleen Bridger, revealed this to a local CBS station. Quote, the plan was 350 of them would travel from San Antonio to Portland, as in Portland, Maine. When we reached out to Portland, Maine, they said, please don't send us any more. We're already stretched way beyond our capacity. Now, why would Portland be beyond their capacity? Well, I want to take you back to January of this year when Maine's new governor, Janet Mills, gave her inaugural address.
We welcome the voices of newcomers also to the public conversation. The young, the immigrants, people of different cultures, all are important members of the Maine family. From now on, yes, a sign will greet all those arriving in our state, and it will say simply, welcome home.
All right, so they opened the doors to everybody who wanted to come on in. Let's take a look at some of the people. Now, y'all, let me just say this disclaimer. I'm sure most of the people, the vast majority, 99.9%, I'm sure are, as the Democrats like to say, hardworking people. I'm sure the vast majority of people are good people. But in every bunch, there's some bad apples, and it looks like maybe Minnesota got most of the bad apples. We don't know, because Maine, this whole storyline with Maine is just starting now. But yeah, there is definitely evidence that Maine got some of them bad apples, y'all.
Our next guest is trying to expose similar fraud in Maine's Medicaid program. He describes himself as the former billing guru for Gateway Community Services, a Maine health services contractor run by a Somali American. He alleges it defrauded taxpayers out of millions. We reached out to Gateway Community Services. They declined to give us a statement. So joining us now is that Maine whistleblower, Christopher Bernardini. Christopher, thanks for being with us here today. So tell us about this Gateway Community Services, the connections to what's been going on in Minnesota in terms of originating from a Somalian and what you saw.
Here, the New York Post says Maine's Medicaid program bilked out of millions of dollars in Somali fraud, a whistleblower claims. It says Maine's Medicaid program was taken for millions of dollars by a contractor whose founder and CEO sought political office in his native Somalia last year, a whistleblower has claimed.
Oh man, where to start? I saw a lot of fraud on the back end with, the billing claims that were just not accurate, not adding up, times not adding up, unsure that staff actually, performed the job functions in the home of the clients. I made a connection from Gateway to the Minnesota people by, them telling me about their family they had in Minnesota. The executives of Gateway, the Somalian executives, had family that they used to visit in Minnesota. Their family used to visit them from Minnesota. And they used to talk about the agencies they ran out there. It was a similar kind of setup, So there was a connection there between all of them.
And this is so funny. The person who this whistleblower is accusing of perpetrating the fraud actually has family in Minnesota. He put it 2 and 2 together because he's like, hold up, these people saying that they're going to visit family in Minnesota. Yeah, this is too wild. The controversy surrounding Portland, that's Portland, Maine, Portland-based Gateway Community Services has drawn comparisons to the $1 billion social services fraud scandal roiling Minnesota, which has led to criminal charges against dozens of members of that state's Somali diaspora.
And how much? What do you think? What do you think is the extent of the fraud?
Oh man, it could be in the millions. The audit revealed almost $1 million back in 2018 in overbilling, and our programs had grown significantly since then. One of the programs I worked in was an entirely new program, so who knows? Like, it could be in the millions all those years. 7 years I was there, and I didn't see a lot of stuff at first, but during the pandemic, especially the last few years, I've been working remote from Florida. And so I didn't see any of the people. I didn't see any of the staffs in person, none of that stuff. I just saw the massive amount of turnover, new people coming in, a lot of migrant community getting jobs, a lot of new migrant clients, stuff like that. And like a lot of the stuff I just couldn't verify. There was no way for me to verify that what I was billing out was real, was accurate at all.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're learning about what happened in Minnesota. I think everyone in Maine should be on the lookout as well. We appreciate you blowing the whistle and sharing the information with us here today. It's all alleged at this point, but this is something that everybody in Minnesota should be asking questions about. Rather, everyone in Maine, in addition to Minnesota, should be asking questions about. Christopher Bernardini, thank you so much.
Christopher Bernardini, who worked as a program coordinator for Gateway between May 2018 and April 2025, claimed to News Nation that his former employer billed taxpayers for services that weren't provided and falsified records to support the fraud. And here we have Newsweek saying that Graham Plattner, this is the person challenging Janet Mills for the Democratic nomination to run in the Senate race. It says here in Pan Atlantic Research Omnibus poll, which surveyed 318 Maine adults between November 29th and December 7th, Mills leads Plattner in the primary 47-37. But as it relates to who would likely beat Collins, Plattner is ahead of Mills. And this is on the heels of a previous poll that shows Plattner with about a 20-point lead on Mills. So depending on if you're looking at whether Mills or Plattner are going head to head in the primary, or who would do better against Susan Collins in the general election, that's going to give you different results. But as of right now, Plattner does have the edge on your girl as it relates to the head to head with Susan Collins, who will likely be the Republican nominee. And y'all, to wrap up this video, let's just finish up that Fox News segment on how we got here with the influx of immigrants several years ago.
Isn't that nice? Well, in Portland alone, asylum seekers who are primarily from African countries make up 90% of the people living in the city-run family and overflow shelters. But back to today. When the San Antonio city manager's request to Portland was turned down, well, the response was jarring. Quote, "We're working with them," the migrants, "now to identify other cities throughout the United States where they can go and begin their asylum-seeking process." Well, where are these migrants going to be dropped next? Well, it's anyone's guess. But the fact that two cities in two states, thousands of miles apart, are both at capacity should be alarming for all Americans. Now, we reached out to officials in Portland, Maine, and received the following response from a city councilor. Portland is proud to be a welcoming city for all Americans and those seeking to become Americans. At the same time, no city of 67,000 people can possibly manage the entire nation's immigration situation on its own. Wow. We are going to continue to follow this story and others like it and bring you updates, since apparently no one else will.
So yeah, y'all, your girl, Janet Mills, she threw open the doors to the state. So let me know what y'all think. Do you think that Maine is going to be the next state that has a massive fraud discovery with perhaps tens or hundreds of millions of dollars or even billions of dollars stolen? And who do you think is going to win between Plattner and your girl Mills? Let me know down in the comments, y'all. But before you do, please stop, hit the share button. Share this video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all your favorite social mediums. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.